Hi there, my name's Scott McDonald, and today I'm going to teach you how to run to handstand on Trampwall. Before learning these, you should be 100% comfortable with dropping in and running to the top of the wall. As you may have guessed, the better you are at handstands, the easier it's going to be to run to handstand. That said, it's not super important to be able to hold the handstand for a long time, but it is essential that you can consistently kick up into one and step back down without tipping over or collapsing. As always, I recommend wearing wrestling shoes and having a friend throw mats for you to keep the learning process as safe as possible. Now, you may have seen a few different ways of entering this trick. You can plant one foot on the face, do a 1-2 step, or plant both simultaneously. This is just a matter of personal preference. At the end of the day, they're all pretty similar to a regular wall run. As you can see, your first foot would normally make contact here, then you'd put your top foot just beyond the corner. When you run to handstand, you're going to that exact same place on top, just with your hands, so this means you're still going to need to step from the same place against the face. No matter which method you prefer, to do the trick, you're going to start by running at full height. When you're ready to go, plant your feet using your technique of choice and reach just beyond the corner with both hands while keeping your arms extended. Disconnect from the wall for a split second as you revolve around the corner, let your shoulders go past the edge, drive your lower body up and over, then catch and continue lifting your hips up towards the handstand. Now, how long you stay up depends entirely on how inverted you get. If you're in a fully stacked handstand, you can stay here for as long as you want, and if you don't quite get fully inverted, you'll be able to catch a moment of hang time before gravity pulls you back down. Either way, when the time comes to drop back in, all you're going to do is reverse the motion. Support your weight with your hands as you lower your hips, shift your weight back into your lower body as you revolve back around the corner to the face, then complete the trick by pushing off into a wall run. Now, as far as visual reference points go, as I run the wall, I spot the corner, then keep my eyes on it all the way up. Once I get past it and catch the handstand, I keep my eyes on the spot in between my hands for as long as I'm upside down, then as I begin to drop back in, I look back to the corner and revert to normal wall running visuals. Now that you understand how to run to handstand, let's break it down into a few simple drills. Start by putting a couple blocks beside the trampoline and covering the top with mats. Just make sure you leave a little bit of space for your hands. All you're going to do here is bounce pretty low on your feet, put your hands on the block, and lift your legs up to around horizontal. Once that feels easy, you can progressively lift your lower body higher and higher until you can get all the way to handstand. While you're here, I recommend you experiment with leading with either leg, and if you wind up going too far over, you can just fall or roll onto the mats on top to stay safe. When jumping to handstand like this feels consistent, mat the trampoline and repeat the same motion, but this time you're going to re-anchor against the face of the block and drop back into your back. Once you've done enough to feel comfortable, you can remove the mats and enter a wall run out of the handstand. From here, you're going to head over to a short tramp wall and mat the top, once again leaving room just beyond the corner for your hands. You're going to run the wall and catch and support, then add more height and power as you begin lifting your lower body in the same motion as you did on the block. I recommend you also use this time to experiment with the 3 different techniques and see which one you prefer. Regardless of method, at this point all you have to do is lift yourself all the way to handstand and enjoy your shiny new trick. Let's take a look at a few common run to handstand mistakes and how to either fix them or just avoid them outright. As a general rule, this trick should feel completely effortless with no muscular exertion, physical struggle, or impact. With that in mind, if you feel like you have to press yourself upward into the handstand using your muscles, you're probably bending your elbows or not lifting your hips high enough when you catch. This is going to make you feel extremely heavy, so make sure you're keeping your arms extended and driving your lower body upward throughout the entire trick. If you're feeling a lot of impact during the catch, you're probably blasting yourself way too high and then falling into your handstand. This is terrible for your wrists, so think about calmly reaching into the handstand instead of throwing yourself into it. If you feel like you're out of momentum by the time you try to go to your hands, you're probably running too low, so make sure you're not touching the bottom half of the wall. I sometimes see people tuck and then abruptly kick their legs out in a last-ditch effort to get higher or more inverted, but unfortunately kicking like this is only going to throw you off balance, so make sure you're keeping everything smooth. If you're too aggressive and you launch yourself straight towards the corner, you might overshoot the handstand and bail into a front handspring, or wind up sliding with your hands across the top of the wall. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're hesitant, you're probably not going to make it to the handstand. Hesitation tends to manifest itself as keeping your chin and chest held up and staring forwards, which will counter the lifting of your hips, not letting your shoulders go beyond the corner, which will make it physically impossible to get to handstand, or simply not committing to heel driving hard enough. Make sure you're putting enough power in from the beginning, getting your shoulders past the corner, and getting your head in between your shoulders. Lastly, just make sure your hands don't go too far away from the corner, as this will force you to throw yourself backwards, or step down on top before dropping back in. These both look and feel pretty clunky and increase your risk of injury, so make sure you're not leaving too much of a gap between the corner and your hands. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up, but I hope this video gave you everything you need to learn how to run to handstand. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in coaching or workshops, you can always message me on Instagram at ScottAMcDonald. And until next time, good luck and happy training.